Hello.
Well, Spar and Bernstein has been nothing but great to me throughout my trials. I mean, it's 5 years into this car accident, and they never gave up on me, never. And in everything, they fought for me, and I am so proud to tell everyone, don't even wink for a moment. It's you, Spar and Bernstein. My lawyer here, Mr. Barack, has been a cage animal. He wanted to go on trial, but thank God we settled out of court, and it was something that I'm very, very happy about. So everyone, I'm telling you, I'm not just making stories up. You have to use this law firm. Spar and Bernstein is the best, worldwide best.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hello.
Here again.
Hello from...
Good to be back.
Live from Jamaica, West Indies, David Squeeze Atticke. How are you, sir?
Definitely not Queen. I am wonderful, man.
You are.
Good to
You
be
are
here.
wonderful. And
yeah, I called up my provider. I called up my internet provider.
Yes.
And I cursed them. I gave them some wonderful expletives. And they said, Mr. Anik, we know who you are. We will definitely try to make it better.
You're still breaking
for
up.
now, it seems.
You're still breaking up.
See? Guess that didn't work out too well.
Yes, they didn't do anything for the 12 o'clock show. Maybe for tomorrow. Maybe for tomorrow. Maybe. By the way, Squeeze, Mr. Squeeze, who's breaking up, it's like I was reviewing, the Brad Squad and Team Squeeze on our Facebook pages, and there's complaining going on. Complaining from the Brad Squad and the Team Squeeze people.
Okay.
And let me tell you what the complaint is. We don't say hello to them anymore. They're very, very sensitive. Okay? They are very sensitive. The Team Squeeze and Brad Squad, we don't say hello to them. All right? So I want to make sure that to our loyal viewers and listeners, the Brad Squad and Team Squeeze, that we say hello to all of them. So if you would mind that we just take a break for a second from our show, and let me just say hello to everybody. Is that okay with you?
All right, go ahead.
All right. So Tamika, hi. How are you today? Cordella, what's up? Jeff, yo. Nicola, always has a comment. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, good afternoon. Candy, how's the baby doing? I'm a survivor out in Arizona. She's surviving. How are you? Kazmita and Denisha, hola. Those are my Brad Squads that I had to say hello to. That complain I don't say hello to them enough. By the way, Abram Hines from Mobay, Jamaica, how you doing? Bin Madi Singh, good afternoon. Deanne Williams from Atlanta, always watches. And Glacia Roper, hello. So I've gone through everybody I think I have to say hello to who watch on a regular basis. Squeeze, do you have anything you would like to add to this?
No, I mean, if there's nothing on my page, no one has streamed a video on my page, so, Mr. Squeeze right now is very, very upset.
Yeah, well, you can talk to Mr. Zuckerberg about that one. That is Mr. Zuckerberg's issue with you. Mr. Zuckerberg has spoken. He says he don't like it. He says he don't like it. Meanwhile, they're dancing in the streets in Zimbabwe. Did you hear that? I guess some people would call him a tyrant, some people would call him a dictator. Not the best guy in the world. Embattled President Robert Mugabe. He resigned today as president of Zimbabwe after 37 years of rule. And apparently there are some wild celebrations going on. Not the most beloved figure in Zimbabwean history. I don't know enough about Zimbabwean history to make a comment more than I'm told he's a bad dude. But maybe he's a good dude, but I'm told he's a bad dude. I don't really know much more about it than that. I wish I knew more. I don't. But there is wild celebrations going on. Do you have anything to add to that?
No, I don't. I need to research more.
Okay. LeVar Ball. You know that guy? He's the father of the 3 basketball players, one of whom got arrested in China for shoplifting. And he said he's in a feud now with Donald Trump. And Donald Trump went to China. Donald Trump took full credit for the release of his son, who was caught shoplifting at I believe, Gucci sunglasses. And he said LeAngelo Ball, who plays for UCLA, and LeVar Ball said Donald Trump did nothing to help him. I don't have to thank him. So he said, if I have to thank anybody, I'll thank President Xi, because he's the president of China. And then he was on CNN last night, and the interviewer said, well, do you think that the president helped at all? And Ball said he was bewildered with all this stuff going on in the world, that Trump's so concerned whether a father said thank you or not. I don't know if you've been following this story or not, but there seems to be a huge feud between the two of them.
Yeah. And in the news today also, seems like someone needs to give me a Brad and Squeeze mug.
Yes, you need to bring one down with you. What you should do... are you drinking beer? He's breaking up, Squeeze.
No, it's not beer. No, it's not beer.
I know, but you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Yeah.
You need to speak with your internet provider. You need to speak with your internet provider.
Yeah.
Any event, let's go. We're gonna have immigration calls. We're gonna go to immigration calls while we reconnect with Squeeze. Give us a call right now. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. We're going to be taking your immigration calls in the next few minutes. I have a lot of other construction here. I have turkeys being thrown out of planes, construction needles, Katy Perry's banned from China. But let's get to immigration. We'll get to some of this other stuff tomorrow. 1-800-529-5465 is the number to call. 1-800-529. Mic on here? Yes, it is. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Harat in Burlington, Iowa. Are you in Burlington, Iowa? Burlington, yes. Indiana. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's up?
I have a question regarding, actually I'm recently completed my MBA from US and I'm on my OPT and I got a job opportunity for a non-profit hospital. So I would like to know about a H1 cap exempt rule for a non-profit organization and how I can know whether my non-profit organization comes under a cap exempt rule, H1B cap exempt.
Well, you know, they're cap exempt if it's an educational institution. Not necessarily every non-profit organization is capped exempt from the H-1B. We would have to take a look at that in particular. As a matter of fact, if you stay on the line, we're going to have, or you stay and watch our show a little later, we're going to have Nicole Hemrick, who's one of our immigration attorneys. She handles a lot of our business immigration, and we can certainly ask her about it and talk about it more with her. But yes, there is a cap. It's $65,000. There are exempt for educational institutions, whether or not your hospital would be considered a educational institution or non-exempt. Yeah. We would have to figure that out off the air. But hold on one second. The answer is we don't know until we know more about what the institution is that he's actually working in. The telephone number to call, Squeeze, is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800.
Is that the number?
That is the telephone number. I didn't know if you were aware of it or not.
The same number as the law firm?
It is the same number as the law firm. I wanted you to make sure that you were aware that this number exists.
Oh, I'm very much aware of it, man. Are we going to have any of your other good attorneys on the show today?
We are. We're going to have Jacob Hudnett on later to talk about vacating convictions, and we're going to have Nicole Hemrick on about business immigration, including H-1Bs, and maybe if she's listening now, she can even talk a little bit about which institutions are non-exempt under the H-1B cap. So the telephone number to call right now, Squeeze, I'll let you do your job. Go ahead, sir.
What? Yeah, please. Allow me to do my job, seeing that I've been absent. Mm-hmm. 1-800-529-5465. Once again, folks, we're saying to everybody out there, if you do have immigration questions, now is the time to actually call us quickly, because we're going to be doing other areas of law with the attorney, Bradford H. Bernstein. So make sure you call us right here on the Brad and Squeeze Show. Remember, that's the same name on Facebook that you should check us out on the Brad and Squeeze Show. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Make sure that you reach out to us right now. Remember, Spar Bernstein is all about immigration, criminal defense, personal injury, family law, tax law, and more. If you've got a legal issue, you should actually reach out to us first. 1-800-529-5465. I thought you'd have kept the beard, dude.
No, I shaved. You want me to keep the beard for Thanksgiving? Have a Thanksgiving Day beard?
What's the difference? I mean, beard, no beard, what? Let's go to the lines.
Heva from Newark, New Jersey.
Hi.
Hi, Heva.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a question. So I'm married to my husband, and he's in college, so he's not working. So therefore, I need someone to do the affidavit of support for me. So I send the papers in. The person that sponsored me is working $35,000 a year. However, they send back a yellow letter saying that he doesn't reach the 125% poverty line.
Well, it depends on how many dependents are on his tax return.
Well, he's the only one.
So if he's the only one on his tax return, and it's just the two of you, and it's the three of you, $35,000 should be enough for three people.
Okay.
Now, let me ask you this question: Is he an independent contractor, or does he get a W-2 that says $35,000?
A W-2.
He's a W-2. All right. So maybe they made an error. You live in Newark, New Jersey. It's a path train away. Bring in what you're looking at, and then let us respond, because it sounds like they made an error then. All right? So hold on one second. All right.
Okay. Once again, 1-800-529-5465. And, I'm imploring everyone to actually make the call, because once again, when you call up Spar Bernstein, I know Brad loves to talk to you and answer your question on air, but I always say, just book an appointment. It's best to come in and see him and look at him, at his shaven face, and ask him any question right there. Right, Brad?
Yep.
You don't mind, do you?
I don't mind. Let's go to Janu. Janu in where's Janu calling from? Westbury. It's my hood.
Yeah, Genio.
Westbury.
Yeah, Genio.
Genio, that you're calling from my hood. It's where I grew up in Westbury.
Yeah.
Yes, I grew up there.
Really?
Yeah. What's up?
Good to know.
What's up?
Yeah, I wanted to know. I have a girl that lives in Antigua, so I wanted to know the fastest way I could bring her here.
You have a girlfriend. You have a girlfriend who lives in Antigua. There's no such thing as girlfriend visas. There's fiance visas. So you got to marry her. You got to marry her.
Yeah.
You got to marry her.
All right. I have to marry her or get the visa fiance? Does it matter?
Well, how fast do you want her here?
I want her like within a year at least.
Okay, so then fiance visa is the fastest. You bring her here on a fiance visa. That's the fastest way to get her here. All right, hold on 1 second. It's faster than going down to Antigua, marrying her, coming back and filing for her will be more than a year. A fiance visa will be less than a year. So if you want her here as quickly as possible, do the fiance visa. Hold on 1 second. How's that, Squeeze?
That's very good, man. It seems like you're doing rapid fire on the phone lines here. 1-800-LAWLINK, 1-800-529-5465. Let's get to another call right here.
We don't have any other calls, Squeeze.
Oh, wow. I guess we answered all the immigration questions.
Correct. So why don't we do this? Why don't we go to our social media queen, Kim, in our social media room and see what questions she has on Facebook for people who have left us questions on Facebook. Hello! Oh, you had it good this morning. Your sound came on right away, and now it's not. It was so perfect this morning. Oh, there you are. Now I hear you.
I'm hearing her.
I didn't hear her.
I hear her.
I didn't hear her.
She doesn't need her volume up.
Let me do this again. Hello! Hello! Squeeze, would you like to say hello to social media queen?
Hello, social media queen.
All right. What questions do you have? What questions do you have on social media? Yes.
We're going
right before we get to the question, I think it's extremely important, Kim and Brad, that we let the public and we let everybody know that the dedicated and point Facebook page will be Brad and Squeeze moving forward. So yes, you'll be able to see us on all the other pages, but that's going to be the point page. That's where we're going to put everything. That's where Brad will put a lot of good stuff. I'll put a lot of good stuff that's going to help you out. Give you a little laugh here and there, right?
Correct.
Did we change that?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Just check.
I'm just gonna whine everything now. Hello. Correct. Yes. No. All right.
That's in a good mood.
Let's go.
So the first
All right,
question
Kim, fire.
will be from Joelle, and that's because she asked her question on the Brad and Squeeze show page.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Whoa! I like that sound effect. Very, very impressive. Very impressive. All right, go ahead.
Joelle said, I filed my VAWA application. I got a receipt May 16th of 2017. How much longer do I need to wait for another reply? I have a lawyer, but he is not taking my calls.
You're going to wait. You're not going to hear anything for 1 year. May of 2018.
And if she's got a lawyer that she's not happy with, can she move that?
If you have a lawyer that doesn't take your calls, time to switch lawyers. Okay, your lawyer should always be able to speak to you. That doesn't mean when you call your lawyer that they're at your beck and call, because sometimes they're dealing with other clients, but certainly they should be returning your telephone call.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I love would like to. Amen. Agreed. Helene would like to know, I've got a question. I've got a family member who married a woman about 8 months ago, but he was, and every year he's renewed his work permit until last April when he gave up. What can he do now? He's scared to apply for a green card.
Why did he give up?
You know, Helene did not specify.
Why did you give up? Never give up. Keep fighting. If there is ever an example of someone who keeps fighting, you're looking at him in the your upper left-hand corner, David Squeeze Anarchy.
Right? Never give up.
Never give up.
Ever.
This guy in the upper left corner is the epitome of never give up. And look now, he's in his mansion in Jamaica, sitting behind, and he's got his Buddhas and he's got his mansion, and he's pretty good with his Buddhas and his mansion.
He's living the fantasy life.
He is living the life, La Vida Loca, down there in Jamaica.
Let's live some questions.
Okay.
All right. 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, a Brad and Squeeze show. Make sure you book your appointments. Go ahead.
But don't give up.
Never give up.
Right.
Baba Tunde has given us more information and a more complete question.
Okay.
My friend was arrested after he overstayed his B1 and B2 visa, and he later got married. Can he file all his paperwork at once or just the adjustment of status before the case is decided?
Well, he got arrested, so he's in deportation now. So I guess we would have to figure out at what stage is he in deportation. Generally, if you're in deportation and you get married after deportation, the government presumes that you got married to avoid deportation.
Sure.
That's the presumption. So if the marriage occurred after he got put in deportation, the only thing to do is file the I-130 first. You have to get the I-130 approved, prove it's a bona fide marriage, and then you can go to the immigration judge and say, hey, I got this I-130 approved now. It's a bona fide marriage. I got interviewed by the immigration service. Now either terminate my proceedings and allow me to adjust, or let me adjust before you. But, that's the general process. Where Baba Tunde's friend is in the process, I have no idea, but that's the general process.
Do they need an attorney?
They better get an attorney, or Baba Tunde's friends will be deported. I can assure you that one.
Yeah. 1-800-529-5465.
I love that name, Baba Tunde. I don't know why.
I know.
It just rolls right. It rolls right off the tongue, Baba Tunde. I just like it.
Baba Tunde is somebody that you can call in the middle of the night, and he'll come pick you up wherever you are.
That's right. All right, what else?
All right.
Carol would like to know, I had a 2-year green card. What?
We need to fix that Spar Bernstein logo in the back, I want to see it.
It's a camera, webcam, Zoom thing, Squeeze. It's either my face or the logo.
Yeah, we got a new camera today, Squeeze, so they're testing it out.
Oh, we do?
But hopefully we will get it fixed for the next time around.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can.
All right. Squeeze, producing from Jamaica. Thank you. Continue, please.
I know Jill is like,
yeah.
Jill is SMFH right now.
Yeah, right. SMH and Squeeze, right? Right. All right.
Yes. All right, go ahead. Next question.
Carol would like to know, I had a 2-year green card, and I want to go to Jamaica, but my husband doesn't want to go with me because he said he's scared to fly. So can I go by myself, or would it be a problem for me? Yeah,
you're not his indentured servant or his slave. You have a 2-year green card, go travel. You don't have to travel, excuse me, you don't always have to travel with your spouse, right? Although it would be nice to do it, but you don't have to go with him.
I just imagine her like holding his hand, like, don't let go, honey. They're going to know my green card is only through you.
No. You can go without him.
Okay. So the Helene, who had asked about her friend with the green card, she has one more follow-up. She said that he's not going to go to Miramar to sign before the
Miramar. Where's Miramar?
Deportation.
Miramar, Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
So what follow-up question is this? To who?
To Helene, whose friend was wondering about.
I thought Baba
married.
Tunde was in marriage in. This is Baba Tunde's friend you're talking about.
Yes, this friend, Helene's friend, was the one that was married like 8 months ago, but he had given up his work permit.
Oh, he gave up. This is the one where we were saying give up. Okay, so now this is the give up question. So now we have more information on the give up question, which is what? Yeah. Now I understand.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go to Miramar to sign before the deportation. But can the wife still apply for him now? He has a U.S. citizen wife.
I don't understand what's going on. What do you mean doesn't want? They need a consultation. They need a consultation. Yeah. What's next?
I think that's
definitely.
Yeah, I don't understand what they're asking. What's next?
Arthur wants to know, is there any way a C1D1 visa holder can adjust his status without marrying a U.S. citizen and without a 245I? The person also applied for an asylum about 2 years ago from the Philippines.
I guess there's ways. It could be an abused spouse, a U visa. There's always different ways, but you're asking me, how do I get a green card? And by the way, you filed for asylum, so you're probably halfway into deportation already. It's very rare from the Philippines that you can be granted asylum. So you would need to come see me.
Okay. That concludes social media wrap.
Right, because what happens is when you file for asylum, if you get denied, you get put in deportation. So now you're in a different situation now anyway, so they would definitely need to come see me.
You definitely need an attorney. Right.
All right.
529-5465. SMG, social media guru, social media gal,
She's
social
SMQ
media
now.
queen.
It's SMQ. SMQ. SMG went off to medical school. This is SMQ.
Yeah. You know what I realized? I realized that when Kim is on, my screen doesn't freeze anymore.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
You know?
I just
Yes.
deprive you of
Good.
the beauty screen.
You're a good luck charm.
Yes.
All right,
I always find it interesting that when you're not on the show, like yesterday, Kim Jong-un is not seen. I don't know. I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but he's not seen in public every day you're not on the show. So I don't understand why that is. All right.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's a weird coincidence that the guy is not seen in public on the same day that David Squeeze Anarchy is not on the show. It's all I know.
Did you see that funny movie?
What?
Did you see that funny movie?
Oh, when they go to kill? When they go to try to kill him? Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
That's a funny movie. With
hilarious.
Seth
Are you
Rogen.
Rogan?
With Seth Rogen, yeah. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Terry in Wallington, New Jersey. Terry,
Hello, good afternoon.
how are you?
I'm doing okay. I have a question. My friend, he has a green card, but he wants to know if there's something that he could apply for so that he could stay to the country for a very long time.
For a very long time?
Mm-hmm.
Like how
a
long?
year or something. Like a year.
What's very long? Yeah, you can stay out for
Like
3
a
years.
year?
You can stay out with a reentry permit up to 3 years.
Or with a reaction permit.
Not a
And
reaction
can he come
permit. Wait.
to you to-
Yes, but it's not a reaction permit. You may be reacting to what I'm saying to you, but it's a reentry permit. Reentry.
Oh, re-entry
Yes, and he can
permit.
definitely come to me, and I can definitely help him.
Okay, no problem.
All right, so hold on
Can
1
you
second.
repeat the number over the phone so, I could get it?
Yeah, the same number you
So he can
called.
make an appointment?
It's the same number you called as the number from my law office, 1-800-529-5465. So you should already have it locked in your phone. But hold on 1 second, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Nice lady there, Terry from Wallington, New Jersey. All right, so we're at the 12:30 mark.
I'm still hearing Kim in my ears.
I don't know why, but we're at the 12:30 mark. We're going to do USA Credit. They're our partner, Squeeze, and they do really.
My heart beats every time I hear that.
Yes, thank you. And what they do is, if your credit is below 700, they will get your credit above 700. That's what they do.
Right.
And if you want to give them a call, you can call them at 1-800-872-7177. That's 1-800-872-7177. USA Credit, what they do is they guarantee you that your credit will go up within 90 days of you hiring them. Well, they'll give you back your money. So you got nothing to lose and everything to gain. All you got to do is follow their protocol, follow what they tell you to do. And if you know the answer to a citizenship question, they will even give you free credit repair for the first 30 days. So you get free credit repair for the first 30 days, a money-back guarantee after 90 days, as long as you follow the protocol. And if your credit's under 700, why wouldn't you call them? And the telephone number is 1-800-872-7177. That's 1-800-872-7177, 1-800-872-7177. And the answer to the question that we will be asking is, the answer is Philadelphia. Philadelphia is the answer. And the question, what is the question? It's not what is the city of brotherly love. It's not a city near New York City. It is the city where the Declaration of Independence was signed. So call them right. What?
You gave the answer and you gave the question.
That is correct.
And then you're telling them to call.
Correct.
For a free consult.
Is this God I'm hearing? I'm hearing God. Oh, there you are. All of a sudden, it was just like this voice in the like, is God here? All right, call 1-800-872.
Plain old squeeze.
Call plain old squeeze. 1-800-872-7177. Call USA Credit Repair right now. 1-800-872-7177. Give them the question and the answer, and they'll give you free credit repair for 30 days. 90-day money-back guarantee as long as you follow their protocol. 1-800-872-7177. Squeeze?
7. Yeah, that's it. 1-800-USA-7177. Just reach out to USA Credit Repair right now.
So we got
all right, so
we got Jake Hutton. Oh, let's do Bradication. We have a Bradication today. about, and we are going to do Braducation after Jake. Jake is ready to go right now, and we're going to be talking about pleading guilty to crimes. And if you plead guilty to a crime, you got a record for the rest of your life. And that criminal conviction, your life, it never goes away. And that criminal conviction affects where you work, where you live. It affects your immigration status. It even affects whether you can travel, whether you can become a citizen, whether you can renew your green card, whether you can be reunited with your family. Criminal convictions are to immigrants like, I don't know what's a good analogy. Like, I don't know, like as bad as it can be. I can't come up with a good analogy. I was trying to come up with something funny. Couldn't come up with anything funny that would have been relevant. It's like kryptonite to Superman. 1-800. What am I saying? But what it does do is it totally screws you up completely. If you're an immigrant and you're not a citizen, I mean, it screws you up if you're a citizen. But if you're an immigrant and you plead guilty to like dumb things and just to get out of the situation, maybe you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you just plead guilty to dumb stuff, it affects you for lifetime. I can't begin to tell you how many people come to me who've pled guilty to dumb things, dumb stuff, that ultimately in the future causes them huge, huge pains. So with us today is Jacob Hudnut. He's one of our criminal defense attorneys. So if you were one of these people out there who pled guilty to dumb stuff, hello, Jacob. If you are one of these people who pled guilty to dumb stuff, you need a guy like Jacob Hudnut, because he's going to be talking about vacating your conviction. And vacating a conviction is different, correct, than expunging a conviction or getting a pardon. Can you tell us what the three differences are as you are aware of them?
Yes. Good afternoon. To vacate a conviction, basically, you sort of go back in time and you reopen the case because you found that there was a problem with the case that isn't necessarily preserved in the record, which would be the transcripts or the evidence used at trial. And basically, we do it here at the firm. It's called 440 in New York, and it's called post-conviction relief in New Jersey. And we basically say, hey, Judge, there was a screw-up here. Typically, it's ineffective assistance of counsel, and we get the case reopened, and whatever had been pled to goes away at that point.
For immigration purposes, Jacob, vacating a conviction is if the conviction never happened. And that's what's most important to people. So if you plead guilty to something and then the conviction never happened, it never happened. So versus expunging, because people say, I want to get my conviction expunged. Expunging means that the conviction happened, you pled guilty for some period of time, you were guilty for some period of time, and then a decade later, it's now off your record. But for that 10-year period you were guilty, it's still a conviction for immigration purposes. Pardoning means you were guilty, but then the executive, which is the president or the governor, says, we pardon you. Just like they pardon the turkey. Okay, we spare his life. But the difference is, even there was a conviction for a period of time. So not every pardon will get you immigration relief, but every vacator will. The only time that you can be certain that you will not have an immigration issue is when you have a vacator, which is what Jacob is discussing. What about people who pled guilty, Jacob, to crimes, but they didn't go to jail? They feel that, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, that's a misnomer. That's still just as consequential. All the collateral consequences of a felony apply to a person whether they served time or not. So even if they were given fines only or probation, they still have those collateral consequences that you talked about at the top of the segment.
Squeeze, you have any questions for Jacob on vacating?
Yeah. I don't want it to get misconstrued, because I just saw on the screen where it says expungement. It means that the conviction is undone and erased. Is that a true statement? Because that's the vacation. That's vacating, right?
I don't know what they put on the screen because I'm not looking at the screen. But vacating means I don't want expungement. Expungement, it doesn't help you for immigration purposes. So if that's what they put on the screen, that's an error.
It said
does not. No.
And you're right.
But that is something that we do for folks at the law firm, expungement in New Jersey, and now there's a new process in New York of sealing criminal records, and we hope that some people in New York will come to us and take our services on that.
Here's my question.
But none of that.
Here's my question.
None of that helps
What
you.
is the purpose of an expungement? What's the purpose of expunging then?
Well, if you're an immigrant, there is no purpose. All right, I'm just going to talk from an immigration attorney now, and then I'm going to let Jacob talk from the criminal start. Okay, from an immigration standpoint, expunging serves no purpose whatsoever if you're an immigrant, because you still have a conviction.
Okay.
It's still a crime.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, if you're a citizen of the United States and you're free to travel, you're free to do what you want, expungement could certainly help you, because now it's off your record. You're a citizen, you don't have an immigration issue. Maybe you want to open up Club Fiction in New York. You can't get a liquor license, right? What other things would expungement help you for as a citizen? It's off your record.
Right, and certain states have passed laws that when you're applying for a job, the employer can't ask about expunged convictions. So it's certainly, if you get your conviction expunged, you're kind of back on level playing field in the job search for citizens.
Gotcha. There you go. That cleared that up.
Right, but for immigrants, it doesn't help you at all. And the same thing with sealing a case. If you can seal a case if you're a citizen in New York, for sure. It doesn't help you for immigration at all. If you're an immigrant and you're something less than a citizen, the only thing is vacating. That's it. Other than that, you're totally screwed. So what advice?
So let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's go back a little. Then explain the sealed. What does a seal mean? Let's say even if you're a U.S. citizen, what does the sealed case mean? What does that mean?
So, whereas in states that have expungements get rid of the conviction, but states that have a sealing process, the conviction is still there. It's just not viewable to the public. It's almost like it's invisible. So again, you're going to want to be in a state that has protections where people applying for jobs don't have to disclose that they have a sealed conviction. But it's there, it's on the books, but it's only viewable to law enforcement and the government. But if it's sealed, it's basically invisible to the public.
Right, but that's the key thing. Still visible to the U.S. government when you're traveling back and forth into the airport and you're something less than a citizen. This is all called, in immigration parlance, fancy word parlance, but in immigration parlance, it's all called post-conviction relief. Post-conviction relief, meaning that you have been convicted, and after the conviction you try to do something, doesn't erase the conviction for immigration. Vacater is not post-judgment relief. Vacater means I'm going back to the original time that I pled guilty, and what we're saying is this was illegal and it should be undone. That's the difference. That's why a vacater helps for immigrants and expungement and sealing doesn't.
And the moral of all of this, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is a criminal defense department at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. Jake Hudnut is one of our criminal defense attorneys. Of course, he can handle New Jersey and New York. And we say to you, call right now. You never know. Probably they could do a 440 for you, and that is vacating your conviction. Well, call now and get a consultation with them. The number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Many people have given.
Squeeze broke up, but Jacob, I want to ask you a question before you leave. Can you talk about one or two cases that we've had successful results on in vacating convictions? Tell us about the case, what you did, how you helped the person, and how ultimately that was able to help them with their immigration, because that's what people want to know about. People want to know about, hey, I got this criminal record, I can't become a citizen. Hey, I've got, I can't travel. I can't renew my green card. I'm stuck here. I can't make a move. Tell us about some of the people that you've helped, because that's really what people want to hear.
Yes, and quite often what it turns on is if they were given bad advice. A lot of the law kind of became clear on this in 2010. So a lot of the people that we help pled guilty to crimes in the 1980s and the 1990s, and they were pleading guilty to felonies, but nobody was telling them that that was going to jam them up in the future from an immigration standpoint. So these are undocumented people or they're green card holders, and once they try to change their status, all of a sudden this conviction from 20, 30 years ago is causing them a problem. Most of the people we've helped, and we've had some success lately, are people that have led law-abiding lives for 20 years, but this conviction is now holding them back. The reason we're able to have success with this is because, one, a lot of it depends on what their last lawyer didn't do. But beyond that, we kind of paint a picture for the prosecutor or district attorney of all the good stuff that this person's been up to. A lot of times these people are paying taxes. A lot of times they've had children born here, and they've been involved in their communities. So there's a legal argument that we present very aggressively, but then there's also kind of a character or a personal argument that we also present very aggressively, and it's kind of a two-prong approach, if you will, to kind of say, hey, look, this person was let down under the laws. The court didn't tell them what was going on. The lawyer might have given them bad advice. And then we kind of just color it in with some information about what a good person they are. So we've been able to keep some people that have built lives here because we've been able to convince courts and district attorneys to reopen old convictions and change them to something that is less consequential from an immigration
By the
standpoint.
way, Squeeze, it's absolutely free to speak to Jacob, Paul, David, all our criminal defense attorneys. If you have a criminal record right now and it's causing an immigration issue for you, it is absolutely free. You have absolutely nothing to lose but 10 minutes of your time to find out if we can help you live a better life by trying to go back and attack a prior criminal conviction. Maybe, everyone's entitled to a bad day in life. That doesn't mean you got to be punished for the rest of your life, which is what happens in an immigration situation. So we don't want people to be punished for the rest of their lives. A lot of the district attorneys don't want people to be punished for the rest of their lives. A lot of the judges don't either. There's a man in the White House who wants to punish you for the rest of your life, but there's a lot of people who don't. So if you have a criminal record and you made a mistake once in your life, you can come to a Jacob Hudnut, you can come to a Paul Hirsch, a David Moreno. It's absolutely free to speak to them and find out if we can help you. And the telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. We forgot to say that a lot. 1-800-LAWLINK, 1-800-529-5465. And for the people who are watching us on Facebook right now, you can leave us a private message, give us your telephone number, and Jacob will call you directly.
Simple.
Thank you very much, Jacob. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So that is vacating conviction, Squeeze, and there's a big difference. What happened to Squeeze? Where is Squeeze? See there? Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
Okay. So there's a big difference between...
You just like to see me, huh?
I do like to see you. There's a big difference, because other than that, I hear you, but I don't see you. Then I'm like, is God talking to me? That's what it sounded like before.
Oh, I'm
all right. So the telephone number, by the way, is 1-800-529-5465. But it's really important. There's so many immigrants who come to us and say, hey, I got my case expunged. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't help you. So many immigrants come to us and say, hey, I got my case sealed. That doesn't help you. Vacating is the only thing that helps you. If you're a citizen, different story. All right, 1-800-529-5465. I think we have a Braducation about what to do if you have a criminal record.
All right, before we jump to that, though, Brad, are we working on Thursday?
We are not working on Thursday. It's called Thanksgiving, Squeeze.
Are we working on Friday?
We are not working on Friday. My office is open, but our show will be back on Monday.
Oh, really now?
Yes. We'll let you know the schedule. Don't worry. You're on a need-to-know basis.
Thanks a lot, man.
You're on a need-to-know basis. All right, so let's go to the Braducation. Let's go to the Braducation and let's see that.
All right.
Can you apply for your green card if you have a criminal record?
Yes, you can always apply for a green card if you have a criminal record. Whether or not you're actually going to get a green card will depend on what your criminal record is, how often you were arrested, what your punishment or sentence was for your particular crime, and what were the underlying facts of that particular crime. There are certain criminal cases that you are not eligible for a green card. There are in fact many. There are many of those cases you're eligible for a waiver. Many criminal cases you can get a waiver for. There are other criminal cases you can't get a waiver for. Many of those cases depend on the underlying facts of that particular case and the jurisdiction in which your crime was committed and which you pled guilty or were found guilty. Each case depends on the facts, what you pled guilty to, and what your sentence was, and you require an attorney to review it all before you move forward. So, Squeeze, we talked about recently extraordinary ability, H-1B visas. What we don't talk enough about is getting a green card through your employment. Do you know right now, outside of China and India, there is no waiting list for green cards through employment sponsorship? None. You could literally, Philippines is about a 1-year wait. And everybody else, there is no wait whatsoever. You could literally, outside of those 3 countries, literally get sponsored in a job as quickly in months and get a green card in 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 14 months. It is not a long process because there's nobody doing it. So if you have an employer who can sponsor you, but outside of marriage, that's the quickest way to get a green card. I have with us today Nicole Hemrick, one of our fantastic attorneys. She's a super lawyer also. People know. Hello, Nicole. Hello.
Hi.
How are you? Hello. So Nicole is here to talk about employment cases. We don't talk about it enough. And we actually had an earlier call where a guy wanted to know if he was going to be H-1B exempt. And, it depends on whether you're working for a higher institution or not, educational institution. And, we'll figure that out off the air. But H-1Bs are temporary work visas. Nicole is here to talk about getting a green card through employment. And there's a whole bunch of different employment categories. You want to go through them with us?
Sure. So the first preference is for people that are persons of extraordinary ability, whether in arts, business, athletics, or science. People in those categories don't require a labor certification and may not require an employer. They can self-sponsor. Of course, if they have an employer, that's perfectly acceptable as well. There's also outstanding professors and researchers in this category, and multinational managers and executives, typically switching over from previously the L1A category for non-immigrants.
So EB1s are basically your extraordinary ability people, your people who are transferred over. We talked about extraordinary ability in the past. Your intra-company transferees. You work for General Motors in North America, and you worked in Europe or something like that. I mean, not General Motors, I'm making it up, but anybody with any sort of extraordinary ability. And there's no waiting list. You sponsor yourself, right?
You can sponsor yourself, or your employer can sponsor you. Yes.
Okay.
And there's no. Yes, that's correct. And then the second preference category is for persons who have advanced degrees, or and exceptional ability. And there is a way to also circumvent the labor certification process by doing a national interest waiver.
What's a national interest waiver? Let's stop there. What's a national interest waiver?
A national interest waiver is when you make a request to the government, basically saying that the person's presence here in the United States is going to benefit our country. So typically persons who have are in the sciences are good candidates for this. People working on government projects are good candidates for this. I also happen to have done one for somebody who was a clarinetist,
right.
And it worked out. But that's
what was it? What was the national interest for a clarinetist?
The national interest for the clarinetist was that he was going to enhance our culture and education because he was going to be teaching children.
Oh, you're a good lawyer. You're a good lawyer if you convinced the government that one and got a green card on that one.
Yes.
So, but actually the third category and the EW category are most likely and there's no waiting list for those people either. And that's where most people will fall in. Let's talk about those employment categories.
Yes. So the third preference category is for skilled workers, typically people that have bachelor's degrees or professionals, and other workers. Other workers meaning, For example, we do a lot of these cases for people that are nannies or housekeepers. So you don't necessarily have to be a person doing a job that's a professional position in order to be sponsored through employment.
So let's say you're a skilled worker or you work in a household. How do you go about doing a job sponsorship? What do you do?
So the first step would be that, and you absolutely need an employer sponsoring you for this. Your employer would request a prevailing wage from the Department of Labor, meaning that we would present to the Department of Labor what the prospective job is going to be, and the Department of Labor would tell us what the salary for that position is supposed to be. Once we have that, we go through the labor certification process, also known as PERM, which involves doing recruitment. So we have to demonstrate to the Department of Labor that there's no able or willing U.S. workers. U.S. workers being people that are, already green card holders or U.S. citizens. And once we have that certified,
and you're doing that by running ads in newspapers and actually looking for Americans.
Exactly. The employer has to actually undergo this recruitment process and track if they've received applicants and whether or not they were qualified, and if not, why not?
Okay. Is this a complicated process?
It can sound complicated to the employer, but that's why you have a lawyer helping you through this process and advising you as to what the next step is.
Would one actually try to do this themselves?
Everyone's allowed to try to do this themselves. I wouldn't say that that's advisable. It's every single employer I've worked on through this process has always had multiple questions throughout the process and needed my guidance and advice.
I will say this. I will say this. Nicole is trying to be nice. I have never seen an employer do a labor certification and get it approved on their own ever in my entire life. Okay, so yes, you 100% need an attorney. You don't have to hire us, but you definitely need an attorney to go through this.
Yeah.
So now you go. So now you go through all of this. Okay, and the $1 million question is, everybody wants to know, can I adjust my status? What is adjustment of status versus consular processing? Who can adjust? Who can't? Who has to consular process? And people want to know, if I go home to consular process, can I come back? It's a $1 million question,
okay.
Nicole.
So adjustment of status is typically for people that were inspected and admitted into the United States, meaning that they've encountered an immigration officer when entering the U.S., and that they've been maintaining their lawful status. An exception to that might be if they had a sponsorship prior to April 30th, 2001, then they would be exempt from those requirements. But otherwise, you should be maintaining status, and you should have been inspected and admitted into the United States.
Well, lots of people are out of status, but even if they do, I'll tell you a little hint. If you have parents here, and we get calls every day, Squeeze, from people who get sponsored by their parents. How much longer? Right. How much longer? And I say, you got 3 years, you got 4 years, you got 5 years to go. They go, ay, 3 more years, 4 more years. What could I do? Yeah. Get sponsored at a job. Nicole is telling you exactly what to do. There's no waiting list, and you need the same provisional waiver whether you're going home through your parents or through a job. If you
we're not hearing anything. I'm not hearing anything.
We're back.
Hey, we're back. What happened?
Yes.
We all just couldn't hear. Brad, is your microphone on? Maybe it's not. But anyway, once again, folks, the Brad and Squeeze Show. Do remember to call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. We're sorting out little technical kinks and the gremlins that's in our programming here, but we're getting to it. 1-800-529-5465. 5. It's good speaking with Nicole. And do remember, folks, that, the law offices of Spar and Bernstein is a full-service law firm. All right? So many of you out there, you have questions about different areas. You hear us speak on immigration every day.
Yep, we're good now.
A solid and a good attorney.
Are we good now? You hear me?
1-800-529-5465.
All right. So
and
what?
We can hear you loud and
So
clear.
what I was saying, Squeeze.
I don't see it. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. What I was saying was before I got knocked off. What I was saying is every person out there who has been sponsored by a parent, and we get these calls all the time. I got sponsored by my parent. How much longer do I have to wait? I got 3 years, 4 years, 5 years of waiting. Oh my God, what can you do, Mr. Bernstein? Listen to Nicole. She just finished telling you a job sponsorship takes a year and change, even if you work as a nanny. If you have a parent who sponsored you, you work as a skilled worker, as a professional, you have a parent who sponsored you, you're eligible for a provisional waiver no matter what. Whether you're getting the green card through the job or through your parent, every person on the waiting list who's waiting 6, 7, 8 years for parents should be being sponsored by their job. Go ask your employer. Sponsor me, please.
Absolutely.
And Nicole will take you through the whole process. She is brilliant at it. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
And she has a success story she wants to share in the next, we got about a minute and a half. What is your success story you'd like to share?
So I have a client who I've been working with actually for about 4.5 years. First, I switched him to student status after he entered on a B2 visitor visa with his family. After that, we switched to an H-1B. And right after he got his H-1B, he and his employer wanted to start the green card process. And yesterday, we got approval notices, welcome notices, meaning they're now green card holders, for him, his wife, and one of his daughters. One of his daughters got a request for evidence just because said, thank you.
We're supposed to have, I don't know, we had some good sound effects before, but continue. There we go. There we go. Yes.
There's just one family member held up a child because she, the doctor didn't mark something correctly on the medical form, so they have to go correct that. But there's no reason why, once that's corrected, she's not going to be a permanent resident as well.
Congratulations, Nicole. From H-1B to green card, you took them through the whole process, the entire family. But even people out of status, if you have parents here, you can do provisional waivers. You may be 245I. There's lots of options, especially for employment-based cases. Thank you for joining us and bringing us through that process. And we got to get out of here. We're out of time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
The proceeding was informational only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein Law Firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easily remembered, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465.
What are you doing?